Hello there, welcome to Scrum Positive. Please subscribe to the channel. We are in the process of looking at the values, agile values, and the second value is working software over comprehensive documentation. What does that mean? Now, if you're not in the software field, you don't have to worry. We will try to look at that particular value from a non-software perspective as well. Since Scrum started with this whole concept of working software, there was a lot of documentation at one point. We would document, but that itself would take months and years to document what needs to be done. And then comes the building of software, by which time the business would have changed tremendously. So the focus is work on working software, try to build working software instead of working software over comprehensive documentation. The reason I don't want to say instead, because it's not right. That value doesn't mean that you don't do any documentation. Documentations are still important, but documentations won't create a working software. Only when you create a working software does your work have an impact. The documentation by itself is worthless if you don't have a working software. That's the point. Now, let's take a step back and think about it from a non-software perspective. What it means is you have to show something working. You have to create something. And create something that is, if you think that, okay, software comes from an idea. So you have an idea and you're building the software. That's a whole concept, right? Imagine a non-software situation where you have an idea, you have to build something. Now, unless you build pieces of that, unless you build something towards that idea, you can write all the documentations of how great this idea is, how all you can implement this idea. And if you don't do anything towards implementing that idea, what's the point? So always the focus should be on doing something that gets you closer to that idea materializing rather than spending all the time on documentation. But yes, you need to document what is necessary. So I think that's a very important thing. Whenever we do anything in life, whenever we do anything, it's a very important point that we have to start looking at. So I would ask you to look at what you're doing and see how much of time is spent on documentation, how much of time is spent on actually creating working software or actually creating something of value that takes you closer to materializing the idea. I'll see you all in the next episode. Till then, thank you.